Professor Kilrek had been teaching combat theory at the Galactic Military Academy for 73 cycles. In all those years, across thousands of students from hundreds of species, he had never once felt genuine fear in his own classroom. Until today. Until her. The human stood in the center of the training circle, grinning like she had just been told a particularly amusing joke. Her name was Maya Torres, and she was, by all official measurements, completely average for her species. 1.7 meters tall, 70 kilograms, brown hair pulled back in what humans called a ponytail. Nothing remarkable, nothing threatening. Kilrek's secondary hearts disagreed with that assessment. They were hammering against his ribcage like prisoners trying to escape. "Student Torres," he said, keeping his voice steady through sheer force of will. "You understand the parameters of this exercise, yes?" "Crystal clear, Professor," Maya replied, still smiling. That was another thing about humans. They smiled constantly. Sometimes when happy, sometimes when nervous. Sometimes, Kilrek had learned, right before they did something absolutely insane. He was betting heavily on option 3. The exercise was simple. Standard first-year stuff. Student enters the ring. Student faces training drone. Student demonstrates basic defensive maneuvers. Student exits ring with passing grade, and nobody bleeds. Easy. Safe. Boring. Except the humans had been at the academy for exactly 3 weeks now, and nothing involving them had been easy, safe, or boring. Kilrek gestured to his teaching assistant, a Vixorian named Plisk, who was currently trying very hard to blend into the wall. "Activate training drone. Level 1. Defensive protocols only." Plisk's tentacles trembled as he worked the controls. "Sir, perhaps we should reconsider the incident last week with human Marcus during zero-gravity exercises." "That was zero gravity," Kilrek interrupted. "This is a controlled ground exercise with a level 1 drone. What could possibly go wrong?" The universe, Kilrek would later reflect, really hated questions like that. The training drone hummed to life, hovering at chest height in the ring. It was roughly spherical, about the size of a Relian fruit basket, with soft foam appendages for delivering non-lethal strikes. It had been specifically designed to be impossible to actually hurt. Generations of cadets had faced it. Some passed. Some failed. None had ever made it bleed. Then again, none of them had been human. "Begin," Kilrek called out. The drone moved first, as programmed. A lazy swipe toward Maya's shoulder. Textbook opening move. Students were expected to dodge, maybe block, show some basic awareness of their surroundings. Maya's hand shot out faster than Kilrek's eyes could track. She caught the foam appendage in mid-swing. "Ah," she said, examining it like she had just discovered a new species of insect. "Softer than I expected." The drone attempted to pull back, standard procedure when grabbed. It had enough force to easily free itself from any first-year cadet's grip. It did not have enough force to free itself from a human's grip. Maya held on, tilting her head with curiosity. "Professor?" "Question. When you said defensive maneuvers, did you specifically mean I am not allowed to hit back?" Kilrek's primary heart joined his secondary hearts in their escape attempt. "The exercise is designed to assess your ability to avoid harm, not to, why are you asking that question?" "Just checking." Maya's grin got wider. "Because I have been stuck in lecture halls for 3 weeks, and I am so incredibly bored." She yanked. The training drone, which weighed approximately 40 kilograms and was magnetically stabilized, came flying toward her like it weighed nothing, like physics had simply decided to take a break. Maya caught it with both hands. "So here is the thing about humans," she said, conversationally, as if she was not currently manhandling a piece of military equipment. "We get a little stir-crazy when we do not move around enough. Sitting still is not really our thing, you know." She twisted. Metal screamed. "Torres, stop," Kilrek shouted, but his voice sounded very far away even to himself. "Oh, I am just getting started, Professor." Maya ripped the drone's outer casing clean off. Wires and circuits spilled out like mechanical intestines. Sparks flew. The drone's distress signal started wailing, a high-pitched keen that made every species in the room clutch their auditory organs, except the humans. The other 7 human students in the observation area had stopped pretending to pay attention to their datapads. They were all watching Maya now, and every single one of them was smiling. Kilrek had seen that expression before. It was the same look the Krylak's hunting packs got right before they took down prey. He suddenly understood why Earth was classified as a Class 12 Deathworld. Why the Galactic Council had debated for 6 years before allowing humans into the Academy. Why the insurance premiums had tripled the moment the first human stepped aboard the station. Maya held up the destroyed drone like a trophy. "I think your level 1 needs recalibration, Professor." Before Kilrek could respond, before he could hit the emergency shutdown, before he could do anything except regret every life decision that had led him to this moment, the backup systems activated. Because of course they did. Level 2 combat drone dropped from the ceiling. This one was not made of foam and good intentions. This one had actual weapons. Stun batons, neural disruptors, things designed to incapacitate a Krylak's warrior or a Thorian berserker. It targeted Maya immediately. She looked up at it, cracked her knuckles, and laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not a scared laugh. A laugh of pure, undiluted joy. "Now this," Maya said, dropping into a fighting stance that looked wrong from every angle, Kilrek could see, "is more like it." The drone struck first. Stun baton, straight at Maya's head, fast enough to be a blur. Maya moved faster. She ducked under the strike, pivoted on one foot and drove her fist directly into the drone's central processor with enough force to crack the reinforced casing. The drone sparked, stuttered, then did something Kilrek had never seen a training drone do in 7 decades of teaching. It backed up. "Oh no, you do not!" Maya leaped forward, grabbed the retreating drone by what could generously be called its throat, and slammed it into the training circle floor. The reinforced composite floor, rated to withstand artillery strikes. It cracked. "Torres, stand down." Kilrek was running toward the ring now, along with Plisk and every other instructor who had been pretending this was just another boring afternoon. Maya did not stand down. She raised her fist and brought it down on the drone once, twice, 3 times. Each impact sent spiderweb cracks racing across the floor. Each impact produced a sound like thunder contained in a bottle. The drone's casing split. Hydraulic fluid sprayed across the ring in a wide arc. In the observation area, one of the Victorian students made a chittering sound of distress. "Is that supposed to be red?" "Hydraulic fluid is not red," another student whispered. "Then why is it red?" Plisk checked his datapad with shaking tentacles. "The drone uses Type 7 hydraulic fluid, which is distinctly blue in coloration, and furthermore I am going to faint now." He did. Kilrek reached the edge of the ring just as Maya stood up, covered head to toe in red hydraulic fluid that looked disturbingly biological, holding a piece of the drone's power core in one hand. She was still smiling. "Professor," she said cheerfully, "I think I found a design flaw in your level 2 drone. The central power coupling is way too exposed. Any decent opponent would exploit that immediately." Kilrek could not speak. His translator unit was working fine, but his brain had apparently decided to take an extended vacation. Behind him he heard one of the other human students, a tall male named Jake Parsons, say conversationally, 10 credits says she asks for level 3. "No bet," replied another human, female, possibly named Rita, something. "That is exactly what she is going to do." Maya tossed the power core over her shoulder. It clattered across the floor, still sparking. "So Professor, you have got to have a level 3, right? Please tell me you have a level 3. Kilrek found his voice. It was hiding somewhere between his secondary lungs and his sense of self-preservation. "Torres, the level 3 combat drones are reserved for 4th-year advanced tactical students. They are equipped with live ammunition and lethal force protocols. You are a first-year cadet who just destroyed 40,000 credits worth of training equipment. Is that a yes or a no on the level 3? "It is a no. It is the most emphatic no ever uttered in any language. You are hereby removed from today's exercise and assigned to remedial classes on following direct orders." Maya's smile finally faded. For one blessed moment, Kilrek thought she might actually show some remorse, some understanding of the absolute chaos she had created. Then she looked at the red-soaked floor, at the scattered pieces of 2 destroyed drones, at her own hydraulic fluid-covered hands. "Worth it," she said. The other humans in the observation area applauded. That was 3 weeks ago. No, wait. Kilrek shook his head, trying to clear it. That was not right. His sense of time was getting confused. Probably the stress. Definitely the stress. Teaching humans was like trying to contain a supernova with a butterfly net. He checked his chronometer. No. He had that right the first time. This was happening right now. This was today. Maya Torres was standing in his training ring, covered in red, having just destroyed 2 combat drones in under 2 minutes. And the absolute worst part, the detail that would haunt Kilrek for the rest of his teaching career, was that she had not even been trying to be destructive. She had just been happy. The academy alarms started blaring. Security teams would arrive in moments. There would be reports, investigations, possibly therapy for everyone involved. Maya wiped hydraulic fluid from her face. "So, Professor, same time next week?" Kilrek did the only reasonable thing he could do under the circumstances. He resigned. 3 days after the incident, which was now being referred to in official reports as the Training Ring Massacre, even though nobody had actually died, Kilrek found himself sitting across from Commandant Vresh in the least comfortable chair in the entire academy. This was intentional. "Let me understand this correctly," Vresh said, her scales shifting through various shades of disapproval. "You resigned from a tenured teaching position because one human student broke 2 training drones. She did not just break them, Commandant. She tore them apart with her bare hands while laughing." "There is a difference." "Is there?" Vresh pulled up a holographic display showing the incident from 6 different angles. "Because according to the combat analysis, Student Torres demonstrated exceptional spatial awareness, threat assessment, and target prioritization. Her strike accuracy was 0.03% off perfect. Do you know how many species can claim that level of precision? Species that are not supposed to be that dangerous in their first year." Kilrek's voice went higher than he intended. "Commandant, with respect, that human treated our level 2 combat drone like it was made of decorative paper. She punched through reinforced composite flooring. The repair costs, alone, are irrelevant." Resh waved a dismissive claw. "The Galactic Council allocated a destruction budget specifically for the human students. We knew there would be incidents. We prepared for incident. What we did not prepare for was our instructors abandoning their posts every time a human does something mildly unexpected." Mildly. Kilrek felt his secondary hearts accelerating again. "Commandant," she smiled. "The entire time, what kind of species smiles during combat? The kind that evolved on a planet trying to kill them every single day," Vresh replied. "Which brings me to why I denied your resignation and why you are going to return to teaching, effective immediately." Kilrek had suspected this was coming, but hearing it out loud still felt like being hit with a stun baton. "Commandant, please. Anyone else? Let Instructor Morvik take the human combat classes. He trained with the Thorian shock troops. He can handle it. Instructor Morvik is currently on medical leave." "What? Why?" Resh pulled up another file. "He tried to teach human Marcus zero-gravity knife fighting techniques yesterday. Marcus asked if they could make it more interesting by turning off the gravity dampeners and the safety nets. And Morvik is now receiving psychological counseling and has requested a transfer to archival studies. Apparently Marcus caught him mid-air, disarmed him in 3 seconds, and then asked if they could add live ammunition to make it fair." Kilrek closed his eyes. "How are we supposed to teach students who think safety protocols are suggestions? The same way we teach every other species," Vresh said firmly. "By adapting, by learning, and by remembering that these humans volunteered to be here. They want to learn from us. They want to be part of the Galactic Military. We just need to figure out how to keep them from accidentally destroying the Academy in the process." "Accidentally," Kilrek repeated. "Commandant, there was nothing accidental about what Torres did. She knew exactly what she was doing. Did she? Resh enhanced one of the camera angles, freezing on Maya's face right before she grabbed the first drone. Look at her expression, Kilrek. Really look. He did. And he saw something he had not noticed before, something beyond the smile and the confidence. There was uncertainty there. Hesitation. Like she was testing boundaries, trying to figure out how much was too much. She was holding back, Kilrek said slowly. Significantly, Resh confirmed. According to Earth's military records, which they very reluctantly shared with us, Maya Torres scored in the 98th percentile for human combat aptitude. Do you understand what that means? She is not even in their top tier. She is just above average for her species. The implications of that statement hit Kilrek like a cargo shuttle. If she was holding back, and she is only above average, then imagine what their actual warriors can do, Resh finished. Which is precisely why we need instructors who can handle them, who can push them, who can figure out how to train the most dangerous species in the galaxy without getting everyone killed. Why me? Because you did not panic. You did not attack. You tried to stop her, yes. But you also tried to understand her. That is what we need right now. Understanding. Resh deactivated the hologram. Your resignation is denied, Professor Kilrek. You will return to teaching. You will learn how to work with the humans. And you will do it because the alternative is a galaxy where the most powerful Deathworld species has no formal military training and no understanding of our protocols. Would you prefer that scenario? Kilrek thought about Maya Torres with no training, no oversight, and no reason to hold back. He suppressed a shudder. When do I start? 40 minutes. Your next class is Advanced Combat Theory. 5 human students. Try not to resign again. 43 minutes later, Kilrek stood outside Training Hall 7, gathering what remained of his courage. Through the door he could hear voices, human voices, laughing and talking like they were at a social gathering instead of a military academy. He checked a class roster on his datapad. Maya Torres. Obviously. Jake Parson. The one who had bet on Maya asking for level 3. Rita Kowalski. The one who had refused the Marcus Chen, the zero-gravity incident. And Lucia Patel. The only human who had not yet caused any major incidents which somehow made Kilrek more nervous. He took a deep breath, activated the door, and walked inside. All 5 humans turned to look at him simultaneously. It was like being watched by a pack of predators who had not decided if you were food or competition. Professor Kilrek, Maya said brightly. She had cleaned off the hydraulic fluid and looked completely normal. We heard you resigned. Glad that did not stick. Your classes are way more interesting than Instructor Borvik's. Student Torres, Kilrek said carefully. We need to discuss what happened 3 days ago. Oh, definitely, Maya nodded. I have been thinking about it a lot. I figured out at least 4 better approaches I could have used. Want me to demonstrate? No. The word came out sharper than Kilrek intended. He forced himself to breathe. No demonstrations. Not yet. First, we need to establish some ground rules. Rules are important, Lucia said. She was smaller than the other humans with dark hair and eyes that tracked everything. We are listening, Professor. Kilrek pulled up a holographic display showing the destroyed training ring. When I assign an exercise, I expect students to complete that exercise as specified, not to exceed it, not to reinterpret it, to follow the actual instructions given. But what if the instructions are too limited? Marcus asked. He was built like a Thorian shock trooper, all muscle and barely contained energy. What if we can do more? Then you do exactly what was asked, and save the more for when you are not destroying Academy property. Rita raised her hand. Question. When you say destroy, what is the acceptable threshold? Like, is cosmetic damage okay? Minor malfunctions? Or are we talking complete structural failure only? None of the above. The acceptable threshold is 0 destruction. That seems unrealistic, Jake said. I mean, if we are training for actual combat, there is going to be collateral damage. Better to learn how to manage it here than in the field, right? Kilrek felt his career flashing before his eyes again. Let me rephrase. During my classes, you will demonstrate the techniques taught. You will not experiment. You will not improvise. You will not turn training equipment into scrap metal. Is that clear? 5 humans looked at each other. Crystal clear, Professor, Maya said finally. Kilrek did not trust that smile for a second, but he pushed forward anyway. Good. Today we are covering tactical assessment. I will present scenarios. You will analyze them and propose solutions. Verbal only. No physical demonstrations. Sounds easy enough, Lucia said. It was not easy. The first scenario was straightforward. Enemy forces holding a fortified position, limited cover, multiple approaches available, standard second-year material. Rita, Kilrek called, your assessment. Rita studied the hologram for exactly 4 seconds. North approach is a trap. They want us to think it is the obvious choice, but the sightlines are too good. West approach has better cover, but it is a longer route, which means more time under potential fire. East approach looks impossible because of the cliff, but that is actually our best option. Explain. Humans have excellent climbing ability compared to most species. We can scale that cliff in under 10 minutes with basic equipment. They will not be expecting an approach from that angle, which gives us surprise advantage. We rappel down from above, hit their position from behind, secure the area before they can coordinate a response. It was a perfect analysis, exactly what a 4th-year student might propose. That is correct, Kilrek said. Jake, Scenario 2. This went on for 20 minutes. Every scenario, every tactical problem, the humans solved it immediately. Not just solved it but found solutions that Kilrek had not even considered. Approaches that exploited their species-specific advantages. Strategies that relied on speed, endurance and aggression in ways that made perfect sense once explained. They were terrifyingly good at this. Okay, Kilrek said finally. Final scenario. This one is intentionally unsolvable. The point is to recognize when a situation cannot be won and to recommend strategic withdrawal. He pulled up the hologram. Overwhelming enemy forces. No cover. No backup. No possible victory conditions. Maya, he said. Your assessment. Maya studied the scenario for a long moment. Her smile faded. Her expression became something else entirely. Something focused and cold and absolutely certain. We win, she said simply. Student Torres, you are not listening. This scenario is designed to be. We win, Maya repeated. Here is how. First, we identify their command structure. Take out leadership first, create confusion. Second, we use their numbers against them. Tight quarters mean they cannot bring all forces to bear simultaneously. Third, we do not try to eliminate them all. We just need to break their will to fight. Humans are really good at that. Their will to fight? Kilrek repeated. Maya, they outnumber you 50-1. Does not matter. They are fighting because they are ordered to. We are fighting because we choose to. That is the difference. That is always the difference. She looked directly at Kilrek. You asked for an assessment. Here it is. We go in fast, we go in loud, and we do not stop until they run. Because they will run, Professor. Everyone runs eventually. We learned that on Earth. The training hall went very quiet. Kilrek realized something in that moment. Something important. These humans were not just students. They were not just exceptionally talented fighters. They were survivors from a planet that had spent millions of years trying to kill them, and they had won. Every single time they had won. Class dismissed, Kilrek said quietly. The humans filed out, talking and laughing again, like they had not just casually described tactics that would give most species nightmares. Maya paused at the door. Professor, I really am sorry about the training ring. I will try to be more careful next time. Next time, Kilrek said. You think there will be a next time? I mean, probably. We have like 3 more years here. Statistically speaking, something is going to break. She was not wrong. Kilrek returned to his office and updated his personal file. Under current assignment status, he typed, Teaching humans. May the ancestors have mercy on us all. Then he poured himself a drink, pulled up the training schedule, and started planning. Because Commandant Vresh was right. These humans needed training. They needed guidance. They needed someone who could teach them to work within galactic military protocols instead of around them. And apparently, for reasons he still could not fully understand, that someone was him. His communicator chimed. Message from Maya Torres. Professor, I was thinking, what if we designed training drones that could actually handle human-level force? Would make the exercises way more useful. I have some sketches. Want to see? Kilrek looked at his drink, looked at the message, and made a decision. He was going to need a bigger drink. Outside his window, the academy stretched across the orbital platform, gleaming and peaceful. Thousands of students from hundreds of worlds, learning to serve together. And somewhere out there, 7 humans were probably planning their next incident. Kilrek smiled despite himself. This was going to be an interesting year.